We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Nerd Eternal Network. Today we'll be playing Powers on Payroll, or Icon's Actual Play. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual will be Marigold as the Boogeyman,
Thank you for joining us.
Curtis as the Influencer,
Hola.
and Taylor as Skater Boy.
Howdy.
Alright. Who remembers where we left off last time?
We had just introduced Karens 1 and 2 to each other, learned that one of the Majestics was also a Karen clone, and Majestic, I forget the number, was currently scouting out the hospital after they learned, oh, that's where she ran off to.
I believe that was Majestic 5.
Majestic 5.
That was taking out the hospital. It was Majestic 7. That was the other Karen. All right, that's a.
We definitely seem to have a Karen problem.
Yeah, Karen too. The one traveling with you. She's upset at what her name's become over the years. But yeah, so 5 was taken out the hospital. Y'all had loaded back up in the flyer. And I think that was it for the evening. I know Whippet was planning to take Karen to... I'm just going to call her Miss Manhattan for her costume to make it easier to keep up with her. But I believe Whippet was going to take Miss Manhattan out the next day and do some shopping for some clothes and stuff. Since right now she's pretty much got her super uniform and whatever branded visionary sweats you'd given her. And the rest of you had discussed what you were planning to do, I think. Does anybody remember what that was?
There was talk of it in chat.
Oh, was it in the chat? That would be convenient.
There was talk of it in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little suspicious of the husband. Like he might potentially be involved in the Karen plot.
Gator Boy was just gonna call Spear.
Oh, but the bosses want you to well, not the bosses. The company would really like you to show Spear up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's great and all. I'm going to call and tell them because if they have Majestics in their group, that will cause irreparable damage if they let a Majestic in and it's a supervillain plot. And there's a moral obligation to have them not do that.
Alright. So y'all get back to base. I think it was getting late by that point. So we'll say Scatterboy leaves a message with Spirit that he needs to speak with him. And you get a recording saying they'll get back to you at their earliest convenience. So the next day, you have breakfast. Miss Manhattan and Whippet go out to get her some clothes. Let's see, who's your person in the chair for the day? I believe it was Dennis yesterday, so it'll be Carol today. So as y'all are finishing up breakfast, Skater Boy Carol pings you on your comms. Basically says you incoming call. Or there's a call on hold for you from Spear.
I'll be right there.
All right, so you go to the, I guess, comms room or whatever. I mean, there's multiple comms throughout this base that you could use.
I'll head to the nearest place and pick it up to answer. Ciao Bella, this is Skater Boy.
Yes, Skater Boy, this is Agent Carlos. With Spear, you called us yesterday. Said you needed to speak with someone.
Yeah, we've had this is Skater Boy, Visionaries, and a superhero in the past. I know it's been a while, but I needed to make a report to make sure information's accurate on some known threats and some unknown entities.
All right. You hear some light tapping on the keyboard. I'm ready.
There's a group of powered individuals in suits called the Majestics. And I know they've helped out, but they're totally in cahoots with this guy named the Professor, who's been I looked it up and he's was involved with the Hellfires a while back, and he's gives off big supervillain vibes.
Yes, we have reports from Muscle the Muscle of his involvement with the Hellfire conspiracy. That did tie into the Majestics. Though they were fighting a supervillain group at the time, so. And then the Majestic showed, and then we have our own Spear reports from the Pharaoh's takeover. And apparently the Majestics were helping during that. Do you have any other new information? You said you encountered it. Was it a violent confrontation?
It was kind of by accident. There's kind of two ships in the night, but neither of us had flags up, so we both kind of fired a cannon one time and then realized we shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so a misunderstanding, but not a full-fledged conflict.
Yeah, but then in the conversation afterwards, we kind of and I don't know how, because this is not my talent, but we detectived it out, and she slipped up and kind of let us know she was working for the Professor.
What was she was doing when you encountered her?
You guys already have the report on this. There was a powered suit that attacked a lady named Karen.
Let's see. Oh yes, a Miss McKinley.
Yeah, that was one of the Majestics who had a tracker in her suit break, and then the moment the tracker was broke, she ran off to that place.
I see.
And then the other Majestic that we encountered was trying to track her down, but it's someone's running away after a tracker gets broken. It's real suspect. And then Majestic 5 had just did the worst job of trying to cover up that it was supervillain stuff.
Well, thank you for letting us know. I've put this all in a report, and I've cross-referenced it with the police report on Miss McKinley's assault. I'll make sure the office in Detroit is notified and put on alert.
Do you have contact with anyone who encountered the Professor that I could get in touch with?
Try to think if anybody has encountered her.
Now that I think about it, it's Eddie the Lizard who's on the run from the cops. There's anyone who's hidden away. Actually, this is a rough question to answer.
They probably have access to Muscle the Muscle. That's probably about it. And like he'd tell them, we told Dynaman about it, but I don't think Dynaman actually had an encounter with the Pharaoh though. Not
with
the
the
Pharaoh,
professor.
The professor.
Yeah, it's just like now that I think about it, like, hold on a minute. I think I've just asked a question where I would have to play act both sides of this conversation. So how about no? Actually, we don't do that.
Yeah, he tells you he'll send a message to Muscle to see if there's any more details he can think of,
Yeah.
and he'll send those to you.
Yeah,
if
tell him
anything
he can
comes up.
like text me. I know he's like real good with the letters and stuff.
Well, he's a published author.
Yeah, I read his book. It was like really good. I wasn't in it, but
Well, you had likely been retired at that point.
yeah. Anyway, thanks for like the double check and like telling us that we were good on our hunch.
Oh, absolutely. And if you find any actionable intelligence, on them, well, really just anything else you discover, please let us know.
Yeah, we're gonna probably end up like running into him like a lot. Because like the guys that we arrested, they were like the paramilitary guys who could dig underground.
Mm-hmm.
Were
Yes,
like super soldiers. They were also like attached to the professor, and he made like some kind of weird medicine for them that they were having to take. But like you guys have that in the reports.
Yes. I'm seeing. I had not read the report on that, me specifically, but I'm seeing it now.
But like it's kind of like the rule with superheroes. Once you run into like a supervillain and you haven't captured them, you're gonna run into them like again and again. So like we'll have more information later.
That does seem to be how things go.
Yeah. The universe runs on like the craziest rules. Talk to you later.
You have a good day, sir.
You too. I hang up.
All right.
Poor Eddie.
He's doing fine. He's crime bossing, like he always wanted to do.
Yeah, Eddie's doing the thing he wanted to do. He's fine.
Yes, he is.
He's living his best life. It's poor everybody else around him.
No, that's for sure.
Noise.
All right, influencer, boogeyman. How are y'all planning to spend y'all's day?
Just doing some research on the Karens, and like I said, I kind of want to look into her husband.
Okay.
Just because we know he was kind of an obsessive geek, and I just kept racking my brain, going, why Karen? She is not out there in the public as a super or anything like that. So why is she being cloned? So that made me kind of suspicious of the kind of obsessive nerd.
I do kind of find it funny that you're obsessed about the guy who was 16 when she was probably cloned.
Well,
I mean, it's fair. There are super geniuses at 16, and they're more prone to do crazy stuff. But
do we really know that she was cloned that long ago?
No.
I mean, you're right. If the clones age normally, then yeah, that's an issue. But she could have been force grown.
All right. Does anybody remember the husband's name?
They do not.
I bet Mike
It
wrote it
was
down.
Fred. Yes, Fred Davies or
I believe it was Ian, if I remember correctly.
yes, Ian. I am.
Ian. That's it. That may be it. My handwriting is very sloppy. And, McKinley's his last name, obviously. But all right, let's see. What do we need you to roll me for your research? Would it be intelligence or awareness, I wonder?
They're the same for influencer.
I don't guess it really matters. Go ahead and give me an intellect, I guess. If you've got a computer skill, that could factor into it, assuming you're doing the research online.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not purchase computer skills, so...
Okay, straight intellect then. Oh, do you have an investigate? I can see that helping as well.
I do not.
Okay.
I got nothing, man.
I'm trying to help you out.
I mean, not a bad roll. It's actually...
No, 10. Oh, the difficulty turned out to be a 10 as well, though.
Curse you, game master.
This man has no Facebook presence whatsoever.
Or he has too much social media presence. Man, this guy did stuff everywhere.
How are you in 3 different sewing clubs?
Let's see, did I say he was in... I think he was in marketing, I said. Because y'all asked, when y'all met him, y'all asked him basically what he did.
Yeah, he said he was in marketing.
I thought, if I remember right, that he worked for a small tech company. He may have been on the retail side of it. I don't remember.
Yes, it was an electronics company, but it was like home electronic. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not like a LexCorp kind of.
Wasn't anything overtly suspicious?
No. So yeah, you find him. Currently on Facebook. Mostly family stuff there. You find his old MySpace account.
Oh my gosh.
That has been inactive for some years now, but
he's that old.
Let's see what else. I'm trying to think what other old, broken down, rarely used social media still exist.
You find a list of all of his old AIM usernames.
Is LiveJournal still around?
His Club Penguin account.
Has he posted on the Supervillain blog? Maybe.
He had a really, really good Neopets running. His Gaia Online account is just full of the worst kind of stuff.
So you're finding some stuff, but really just that he's there. Nothing suspicious is jumping out at you at the moment. But you're only, so far you've only run across the easier to find stuff. Facebook is still active, MySpace is still active. And as you dig through years of posts on both of those, you're not really running across anything that screams suspicious. All right, Boogeyman, what about you?
Boogeyman is going to spend his day just researching any and all weird cases surrounding cloning, like just people finding out if they'd been cloned, or just any weird news stories or reports about cloning incidents. And see if I can't find any sort of overlap between it and what might be going on with Karen.
All right, give me an investigation roll.
Whew.
9 is the number to beat.
And there's the roll.
All right. Had some moderate success. All right, so you start pulling up, stories about cloning, and this is a world with supervillains. There have periodically been, cloning attempts to do this or that, the other. You find a few reports from around the world of, where they tried to clone this military guy or this world leader, and it got thwarted by this hero or that hero. There was a blanking on his name now. There was a villain in the 60s that called himself Colonel Clone.
Huh.
Who tended to fight with, the papers would describe it as him having armies of himself. It was more like squads of himself. He had a tendency to, end up getting himself blown up or buildings fall on him or whatever, but he kept popping back up. When he was eventually, defeated for good, it was discovered that no, he was just dying each of those times. He just had back at whatever base he had, he always had at least one clone ready to pop out with his full memories to replace himself. It became quite a to-do in the court. The court case became quite a to-do because the one that was finally caught, did he bear responsibility for the crimes of the previous ones that were already dead?
That is a philosophical nightmare I am not prepared to untangle.
Yeah.
Neither was the judge in the case. They really just wound up convicting him of the couple of things they knew this specific clone had done.
It's also
Did he try to argue that he didn't actually do it and that was a completely separate, unrelated clone?
He did not.
Well,
He was
and
a
also
little-
in
he was a
lack
little
of
too proud
reporting,
of the
he'd be
things he'd done.
complicit.
No, that's true. That would be something that could possibly get him on. But there's really no reports on him after he went into prison. It's like he should have served for 20 years, which means he should have gotten out sometime in the 80s. But there's no mention of him getting out. There's no mention of him dying in prison. It's like he went to prison. And that's just the last you can find on him.
Where was he held? And would
Does
it
he
be
look like
possible
he-
for me to actually get my hands on his the records from around that time?
He was held at Rikers Island in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than having some high-tech stuff, he was not a, innately empowered individual.
You punch him, it's gonna hurt him too, so...
Yeah.
Not a
He
big
was, he
deal.
was an inventor. He just happened to specialize in cloning technology, but he did other stuff too. He had blasters. He had, flyers, kind of like Jaws. And like I said, you talk about records. You can pull up the records of him, of him going into the prison. But there's nothing else publicly available. You could contact Rikers, but you have no government standing or law enforcement standing, really.
You know what? I'm actually just gonna send in a request. Hey, Boogeyman, I'm semi-famous superhero. Could I see any records you have related to Colonel Clone? It's about an ongoing case.
Okay, so you type that up and send it off. And the records, what you have found, you'd have Colonel Clone's actual name. I don't have that handy, though. I'm not going to dig for it.
Mhm.
Okay, so you send that off. Yeah, you don't know when they'll get back to you, but...
Yeah.
Skater Boy, after your phone call, what are you going to do?
I don't think I really have anything to do. I think I'm just gonna hang around, change out my medicine, make sure I'm, topped off for the day and won't have any problems.
Okay. So you swap out patches. You've just gotten a
Yep.
fresh batch in from the doctor. And while you can keep a small supply of them in your room, the team doctor, Dr. Jeb Tyler, also has a supply of them in his medical facility, or your medical facility.
Like, as I get the medicine, like, I do need to make a device to check this before I just plug it in. Actually, now that I think about it. And I looked at the doctor. Oh, not that I suspect you or anything, but we're dealing with a Illuminati super smart guy, and poisoning me would be the fastest way to get rid of me.
He's like, ooh. Well, the security here is pretty good, but you make a valid point.
Yeah, I'll whip something up to check it to make sure it's identical to what I'm supposed to be getting.
I might work on something too, just so I can check my own supply. And if we both create separate machines to check it, then
Yeah, a double blind, I think is what they call that.
Well, I know what I'm doing for the day then.
Sure.
And he seems excited as he runs around, starts gathering pieces, and
Oh. So I will go off to attempt to create a gadget, I suppose.
All right. What power level are you trying to create this at?
At a stationary, do I get any kind of advantage when I'm taking time to create something? Because not to be rude to the game, to the system of the game, but in combat, you could take every turn to try to make the same thing over and over and just wait for it to roll. But that would be aggravating to do to you as a person outside of combat, where there would be consequences for me doing that.
Let's give you a +2 on it then.
All right.
Sure.
And I will attempt to make it rank 5, the max I can make.
Okay. This would be, I guess, detect. Let me check and see if detect's actually a thing. Yes, detection. The ability to detect specific things.
And I will, just for the sake of this being a semi-permanent thing to make, I will want to use a quality and my probability control to try to guarantee it.
Okay. What
and I will use quality. I was so smart once.
Okay. So that'll give you a +2. You've already got a +2, and then the probability control will give you a +2. So you're at +6.
Yep, luckily. And my intellect is a 3, so I can still fail.
And you said it was power rank 5 you were going for. So, I rolled kind of low, so only a 7 to beat.
I got a good 12.
That is a massive success.
Yep. So I've got essentially an extra device that's the same size as the little shoulder pauldron that I can just pop it into. It does a quick wire through, checks it, moves the wire around to check all the liquid to make sure it's the same, and then pulls the wire out. It's just there to detect anomalies within that fluid.
Yep. It's basically detecting if this stuff is pure like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because since we have the exact knowledge of what the medicine is supposed to be exactly, it doesn't have to check the medicine. It kind of has the medicine as the base. Like when you measure weight in a box, you put the box on the measurer, you tear the weight of the box, and then you put the stuff in the box. So it kind of knows on base what the medicine is and is detecting for any change from the base of the medicine.
Well, you've got your purity detector, your medicine checker, whatever you want to call it. It's your invention. You come up with a good name for it. It's the dipstick.
All right, I've got my shoulder check. Because the actual doctor will have a doctor name for it.
All right. So, you spend a chunk of the day working on that while Influencer and Boogeyman are doing their various investigations. Whoopette is probably the one out there having fun. As you're doing that, like after you've got the machine running, Influencer and Boogie, after y'all have more or less hit a wall in your research, Carol comes over the radio or the comms, asking you to report to the briefing room.
All right. It's the trouble alert.
Kind of. You get in there, and she's already got footage up on the monitors. You see 3 armored individuals fighting each other on a city street.
Great. Do we recognize any of them?
You recognize Majestic 5.
Mm-hmm.
You, the players. Oh, wait, no. Oh, did I not put this Majestic in here? I don't have a. Apparently, I did not make a handout for Majestic 9. Not that y'all would know it was Majestic 9. One moment. But it's another similar design suit of armor. It's black with some gold and silver highlights. But it's him in Majestic 5 fighting a. Let's see, y'all had seen a little bit of some footage of Majestic 7, hadn't you?
I think so.
So yeah, it's the two of them. Finding her. And like traffic screeching to a halt. There's some collateral damage. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what weapons 5's got. Yeah, 5 is firing energy blasts. As is 9. Though in the footage you can see 9 is also popping like smoke bombs and stuff like that. Carol tells you this is just hitting the airwaves now. The police are starting to get phone calls. Our 800 number has gotten some calls about it. And if you didn't know, we have an 800 number.
Please tell me it's toll free.
Well, yes, it's a 1-800 number. Those are toll free.
Is that what that? I never knew that that's what that meant.
She's like, yeah, it's the 1-900 numbers that they charge you extra for.
Ah. All right, so we need to get in the ship.
Oh yes, to the flyer. She does. I'm trying to contact Whippet and Miss M, but I'm not getting on the comms.
Well, maybe they'll meet us.
Yeah, I'll send them that way as soon as I get in touch with them. I mean, Miss M can fly, so I'm sure she can get Whippet there. I'm sure they can get there under their own power.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all fly out. When you get there, it's easy to spot the area the fight took place. There's lots of busted windows in the surrounding buildings. There's a few damaged cars. EMTs are there checking some people out. Nobody looks to be badly injured. But you have a bunch of shattering glass and stuff. You're going to have a few minor injuries at least. There's no sign of the armor-suited people. Pilot asks, you want me to drop you off here or land, or what do you want?
What do y'all say about circling the area once or twice to see if we can't catch sight of anybody in powered armor, and then setting back down here, and then asking questions?
Is there cleanup to do, and people need help getting moved and stuff down there?
Like I said, you see the EMT checking some people out, and there's some damaged vehicles that'll have to be moved out of the way. But
is there any obvious clear work that I could just drop down and be doing, just for the sake of there's a bad optics to us seeing a problem and kind of just circling around it instead of having at least one person go down and start working.
Oh yeah, you could definitely find something to do down there.
All right.
Yeah, just to make sure that we don't get bad press, and I look directly at the influencer. I'll hop down there and do some work, and you can call me if you see the powered armor, and I'll speed as fast as I can, and I'll hop down and start.
Yeah. The pilot comes down low, and then you hop off, and then they go up and do a tour.
My level 1 leaping helps me jump out of things at times that I shouldn't be able to jump out of them.
So you leap down, you start moving stuff. You see where there is actually a guy with his leg pinned under some debris. So you go over there and the EMTs are already over there, but you go over there and you help them. The rest of you do a circle, do a couple of circles around the blocks, surrounding blocks. It doesn't look like you don't spot the armored suits themselves. It doesn't look like the fighting spread to any of these areas. Skateboard, the EMTs are thanking you for your help. You've got just random people running up trying to tell you what happened. And it's a little confusing because nobody, no one person seems to have seen exactly how it kicked off. They saw the lady in the black and silver armor. They saw her land. It looked like she was jumping rather than flying. And then one of the other suits was jumping after her, and the third suit was flying in the air. And right around here is apparently where they caught up with her and the fighting started. You get the the blow by blow. And over there is that crumpled cars where one of them got knocked into it, this, that, and the other. The flying guy dropped a bunch of smoke bombs at one point. But when they cleared the black and silver lady was gone. The other two looked around and then eventually went down that manhole cover over there. And you also have people asking for your autograph.
I mean, I'll once make sure that there isn't anybody in like harm's way. I'll sign some autographs.
Okay. So like the rest of you guys circle around. You don't really see anything. You come back and land. Crowd of people are running up talking to you. The police are showing. The police had already shown. They showed up when the EMTs did. But they're trying to like control traffic and kind of keep people back. All right, so what do you do?
Like, they're saying the Majestics might have gone down like the manhole cover.
Let's follow.
Like, I'm good. Oh, we lost Marigold.
Right.
I'm like okay with like chasing them down into a sewer, but like without direct sight and confirmation for like us, I also know that like sometimes supervillains do this thing where they like put you in a silly place just to have you there, and I'm like worried about that. But like we have to go anyway. I understand that.
Just like Ricky Tiki Tavi following Nagina and down the Cobra nest.
I like read that story when I was like 7, and I've had like a lot of concussions.
And a happy ending.
Not if you were the snake.
Oh, I don't think they would have like let me read it if it didn't. I would like to wait for a moment to see if we can get Boogeyman back in the scene before continuing, but we've got 2 out of 3 votes to go in the sewers, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sudden drop off. I hope it wasn't like a power outage or anything.
Small child.
There
8.
we go.
No, that is not
mine.
Unfortunately not Marigold.
You're
No,
not Marigold.
No, Mike
just-
is listening as he's
Yeah,
on his way
just-
home.
Just a regulation listener.
But considering Marigold hasn't like hopped on a phone and sent us a message, I'm going to guess it was a complete internet outage or power outage one. So yeah, so we will carry on. So there's some cheering of the crowd as they see you climbing down into the manhole cover to go after, whoever these people were.
Hey, just for the sake of it, it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just a quick awareness check. Do these people just seem like regular people, or do they seem modified in some way for them to all be clapping and cheering at us going down a manhole cover?
Well, from their point of view, hey, a bunch of armored, possibly villains showed up. The heroes are chasing them.
They're
But yeah,
just,
you can certainly give me
extras
a,
for Superman 2.
To force an update.
Oh, fun.
Does a 5 let me know if I'm being goaded on by a crowd of knowing people? They're all trying to embarrass me by making me go into a sewer.
Nah, it just seems like a lot of people that are excited to see heroes.
All right, cool.
We're about to follow the Majestic down into the sewers unless Marigold wants to talk sense into us.
It's not gonna be the first time I waded knee deep through shit.
That's the spirit.
Like
We're the last.
most sewers have like walkways. They're like designed.
You've never been to
travel.
Roguesbury, have you?
Like you probably need to get on call with like some government processes, because like I think they have to have like travelable walkways for service and stuff.
Yeah, I mean there should have been, but there was like this big muck monster thing causing massive backups, and a couple people died. It could have gotten a lot worse. God, what is my life?
Sewer muck monster. Let me note that down for later. Roguesbury. All right. Look, don't throw away good ideas. All right, Marigold, what did you miss? What was the last thing you heard us saying?
I believe it was Skater Boy going down to help a guy who had his leg trapped under a piece of rubble.
So you and the flyer circled around, didn't see anything, landed. People had been telling Skater Boy about what went down with the fight. You know, the armored people fighting. One of them dropped some smoke clouds. The one they were chasing was gone when the clouds cleared, and the two chasing her eventually went down this manhole cover. And like
Awesome.
different people had different guesses. Some of them were like, "Oh, they must be following her down there," or they didn't know where she went. They just got out of sight as quick as possible, or whatever. And the team has decided to go down there and see what they can see. All right, so y'all drop down in the sewers. There are walkways. You know, modern sewers. Most of the actual sewage is being pumped through pipes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is as much a storm drain down here as it is a sewer. It still doesn't smell great though. You know, the pipes are a little leaky here and there.
I will go ahead and just throw down my spray on knee pads for us.
Okay.
Like, I didn't even think about it, but like the oil eating off of these nanites is gonna like help make sure there's not fatbergs down here later. I'm like doing a public service.
Well, you know, now you have a new way to market your spray on knee pad.
I should like
holy crap.
give this.
Get on that.
I should like give this technology to like sewer workers and stuff, and they can like line a pipe with it. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be like money. Anyway, like superhero stuff. Sorry, I've just got like the business mindset, you know.
Hey, listen, proper infrastructure care is both profitable and just good sense.
Well, you say that, but like, they didn't want us to put like heat lamps in all of the AC units in schools, and that makes me like sad. Like, I tried to explain to them that like, and we are walking as I'm saying this. Like, I tried to like explain it to them, like the heat will kill like the germs in the air, and then it gets cycled into like the air conditioning, so you have like clean air getting pumped through the school. So like it'll lower how many kids get sick. And they're like, yeah, but it's like it's expensive to heat it up and then cool it down. So we're just gonna like let it slide. And I was like, this is why kids are getting sick.
He's not wrong. Kids are germ factories.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're disgusting.
And like heat lamps can heat high enough to kill the germs of most common diseases. It's like it's not like energy efficient, but it's like health efficient, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those things you spend a couple bucks here to save $5 there.
Is there any evidence as we're walking of like other travel through here?
Yes, where I mentioned the pipes leaking, you occasionally find a footprint in the goop that it's leaking out. One footprint just looks like a booted foot. But then there's one ever so slightly larger that the imprint's left on the bottom. You get the impression there are like nozzles on the bottom of that boot. And the reports had the two ladies in armor were jumping while the other one was flying.
You know, if you're in like a powered armor, I just realized that like if you want to never get found out and you're a guy, just put like a breastplate on the front of the armor and everyone will think you're a girl. We're gonna follow the tracks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. The mind of Skater Boy is an enigma to me, and it just comes out when it comes out.
It is a gift to us all.
I just it's just
I'm gonna start humming "I Am Iron Woman."
All right, everybody, give me awareness checks.
Oh, very good.
this is fair. Hey,
I'm not gonna ask for stealth checks because y'all are just jabbering away while y'all are walking.
well, I mean, Majestic 5 doesn't see us as an enemy specifically. Maybe.
All right, so 10 was the number to beat. Influencer got a 10. Boogeyman got a 10. Have you rolled yet, Taylor? Or is that
I got a
5 up
5.
there? Okay, you rolled before I did. Okay.
The second 5 for awareness, I went, that's fair. I'm deep in a hole about the assumed gender of armored individuals.
All right. So what Influencer and Boogeyman notice, you notice some scorch marks on the wall that would indicate energy blasts potentially. And there is some well, not some. There is a ruptured pipe, which is now just kind of gushing sewage out.
Do you think they ran into your muck creature?
God, I hope not.
Wouldn't it be like at Rhodes Ferry?
I mean, I set it on fire, so I hope they're gone. I had to burn my first costume after that.
Does you said it was a busted pipe?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, raw sewage
How
is
big?
pouring out.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to that.
Maybe as big around as a basketball.
Ugh.
And it's spilling out. It's clipping the walkway, but mostly it's going down into the kind of the main drainage area. There's quite a pile of the stuff down there already. to the point that it's starting to flow further down.
Definitely something to be reported to the city to get fixed.
I would like to make a rank 1 gadget real quick to patch it.
All right, give me a roll.
Just pull out a big, one of the big like a extra powerful like toilet cover thing that you use to pump just to cover the hole. That's an 8.
And what power rank are you going for?
I was making just a rank 1 to just cover the hole so the flow will just go back to normal temporarily.
Okay. So you slap the patch on there so it stops pouring out.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's not going to last forever. It should last long enough for the city to get down here.
Gotta like pitch in where you can. Also, we probably need to get like a move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no interest in sticking around this mess.
The odor is quite overpowering. You're continuing
Is there any
along.
indication of... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Is there any indication of how much further down they went, or what direction did they go?
Yeah, there's more footprints, and clearly somebody got drenched in the stuff, and it's like dripping off of them as they continue down. So tracking them is not too hard at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you get in, and you know there's storm drains and stuff that are letting a little bit of lighting in. But as you round one corner, there's a big halo of light coming down from above, and you see where there's another manhole cover moved out of the way.
Do we see any more poop tracks leading away from it, or is this like a safe bet they went up here?
A lot of that stuff had been kind of fading out as you got, as they continue walking.
Yeah.
So there's not much to see even leading to the ladder up. But no, you don't see anything that indicates they went on past the ladder.
Boogeyman's gonna climb up the sewer ladder.
All right. You poke your head out, you look around. This manhole cover opens up in an alleyway.
Of course.
You look over, you see the manhole cover. It is warped. Almost like somebody punched it in the middle. So it's like it folded around the fist slightly.
Do not engage in CQC. Got it.
But like maybe somebody flew up and just knocked it out of the way, or jumped up and knocked it out of the way.
Yeah.
It's going to need to be replaced though. The alleyway is full of trash. There's an overflowing dumpster that clearly hasn't been dumped in quite some time. This has not let you out in one of the better parts of town.
But it is a good place to hide out. All right, he's gonna get up the rest of the way and call down. Hey, it definitely came through here.
Any sign where they went after they got out? Probably not.
I just take a look around the rest of the alley and stick my head out into the street.
All right,
What all do I see?
Give me an awareness.
Right. Investigation?
Yes, investigation will work. 9 is the number to beat. Right, that's a massive success. There's some traffic on the street. There's a few people walking around. but only a few. There's a lot of closed, like, storefronts and stuff in this area. Looking around that's what you see when you glance out on the street. Looking around in the alleyway. When you go down past that big dumpster, there's a couple of trash cans that look crushed, like something was thrown into them. You find some bits and pieces that makes you think something may have gotten broken off one of the suits of armor. Give me an intelligence technology if you've got it, which I'm pretty sure Boogeyman does.
Sure. I believe I do. Right.
7 is the number to be.
Doable.
Yep, definitely doable. Yeah, you're pretty sure this is scraps and pieces of one of the shoulder, not paladins, pauldrons.
Pauldron.
It's kind of silver, kind of a silver white, which based off the footage you've seen, this would be off Majestic 7.
I collect the pieces and stick them in a pocket of my coat.
Okay.
Let everybody know. Yeah, there was definitely a fight up here. Looks like one of the Majestics got knocked around really pretty good.
You know, and that was like leading off towards the opposite end of the alley.
We don't really. What were they fighting again? I forgot.
Each other.
Well, that's kind
Like,
Yeah, you had two of them attacking Majestic 7.
of okay.
The one that y'all
That's
suspect
why
is
I
another
got
Karen.
confused.
You know, and the one 5 said they were trying to catch her.
Yeah.
Y'all get to the other end. Y'all get to the other end of the alleyway. It opens up into another street, of course. Less traffic going around on this one. Less storefronts on this side, and it looks like more like apartment buildings or tenement buildings. Most of them don't look in great repair. And with the decrease in the city's population, you don't even know how occupied a lot of these may be. But there are a few people moving around.
I don't suppose. But we can't. We see signs of their fighting, but do we know which direction they took?
At this point, might as well just like ask around.
Yeah.
All right, y'all start canvassing the area.
Apologizing for any lingering smells.
You see a few wrinkled noses. Let's see if you have. Give me willpower rolls. If you have any sort of like persuasion skills or something like that, you can add that in.
Would I be able to bullshit my way with acting?
Man, I've been getting some good rolls this time.
Yeah, I'll let you throw that in there.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Boogeyman's thing is he can fake confidence.
Making people believe
nice.
you can fight the robot suits.
Clearly,
Yes.
they're running from us. All right, so 8 was the number to beat. So Boogeyman beat that by 6.
Good God.
Tarky rolled an 8. Influencer rolled a 9. Oh, well, I'm assuming those are the numbers. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all just rolled before me. Okay. So, like, Skater Boy's got a lot of people wanting to talk to him, but, they don't necessarily have anything relevant to tell him. You do have Skater Boy. You do have one person ask you, in a slightly confrontational tone, not like yelling or like really angry, but just there's a little confrontation to it. If your team's ever planning to hire any of the like local heroes,
Well, like, after the decision was made and the team got formed, there was talks about that. And then it was immediately noted that, like, if we did that and then hired exactly one local hero who's, like, already helping out of their own volition and then made them a corporately sponsored hero who has been, bought, quote unquote, it would be kind of bad of having, like, the token black guy on a team. And, like, they didn't want, after they'd already tripped up once, they didn't want to accidentally do a racism.
give me a give me a willpower roll to see how well you get this across to him.
All right, I would like to use my last determination for I can, like, hang with anyone.
Okay.
And also reference the fact that, like, we've worked next to local heroes without issue. It's just the thing of
There is no right answer.
yeah,
there really is.
once the decision gets made, it's like it can be twisted any way you want.
So you missed by 1. So yeah, it's not it's not like it's a disastrous interaction. But they don't seem totally satisfied with your answer. Now, as for influencer,
I will say, any local heroes.
whoa, that was somebody talking to y'all are canvassing the area. That was somebody over there talking to Skater Boy.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You talked to a lady that, yeah, she saw the armor. She saw one person run out in some damaged armor. At least she assumes it's damaged. They had something on their shoulder, on one shoulder, but not on the other one, and like one of their boots was messed up. Anyway, they ran down that way and into that alleyway, and 2 more were chasing them. One of them was yelling about minimizing collateral damage.
Well, that's promising.
But the one that was flying just seemed to want to catch the first one. He was saying, he was talking about they couldn't let her get away or something. That's all I heard as they were zipping by me.
So, I get you said the one that was flying was just trying to catch the person. I'm assuming that they flew away.
Well, the damaged one was sort of like hopping. And like I said, she ducked down that alleyway over there. She points to another further down. And then there was like a blue lady in armor, or blue and black armor, that she was doing the hopping thing too. But then the guy with the black and gold and silver, he was flying. Let's see. And Boogeyman. You find a guy drinking in an alleyway. He tells you, oh yeah, I was drinking this other alleyway, and these, people in armor came running through, so I moved down here to get a nap. Or find a quiet place to drink. He's like, the first one ran into the alleyway and like threw herself in a dumpster, and I guess she buried herself in the garbage or something, and then the other two came running in, and that's when I got out of there. I didn't hear no more blasting.
You
or
say
nothing,
that.
So,
Yep.
I'm guessing there wasn't any more fighting.
You said they buried themselves in a dumpster.
Yeah.
And which alleyway was this? I give directions back to the one we just came out of.
He steps out and he shows you, which alleyway it is. And while he's doing that, you notice, somebody the influencer's talking to is also pointing to that alleyway.
Reach into my pocket and my jacket pocket and pull out like an extra $20, hand it to him. Again, apologizing for the smell. But appreciate the help.
Oh, sure thing, buddy.
I radio back to everybody. Hey, I think they're Karen X might be hiding out in a dumpster.
Nice.
All right, just tell him where to follow, and I head over there.
All right. All right, so y'all group up. You make your way to that alleyway. And like, there's no sign of any damage or anything. It's dirty. It don't look like the trash has been picked up as regularly as it could be. Basically standard for this area.
I'm gonna knock on the dumpster. Miss Karen? This is the boogeyman with the visionaries. You might not have heard of us, but local hero team, can we talk? No fighting, no blasting, no death rays. We just need to talk.
Give me a willpower roll.
Will my acting factor into that too?
You're trying to sound very harmless and very friendly, so okay, I'll let it. Alright, so she got a pretty high roll of a 10, but you got a 13. You start hearing the garbage shuffling around. And a black gloved hand, reaches up, takes the edge of the thing, and, she straightens up. And you see her stand up out of the just 1 second. There's the display. There we go. So that's what she looks like, but like one of the boots is busted up, and on the on one side of her body, as is the silver part of her glove and the pauldron on that side. But the black underneath looks smooth and undamaged. And she tells you, yes, I've heard of you. You've been in the news quite a bit lately. How did you know my name?
It factors into your very complicated situation. I'm sorry to say. We did make contact with the. Well, what's her last name again? I'm so sorry.
McKinley.
We did make contact with the other Mrs. McKinley that you had an altercation with.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't react very well to that situation. I didn't hurt her, did I?
you are in an extremely stressful, off-putting situation. It's not many people would have reacted any better than you did. And please do not get upset, but we have also made contact with another Karen pre-Mrs. McKinley era.
What?
There is another clone of you, aged several years younger than yourself. Who also has superpowers,
Wait.
other superpowers.
No, that clone wasn't viable. That clone was brain dead.
Like, there's probably like a lot of clones of you going around.
Yeah.
Like, so like, also a question: are you in the firm belief that you are like the original, or are you a clone that knows you're a clone? Or is the Karen that had the house and the kid a clone?
No, I don't think the this is so weird. No, I don't think the Karen that I confronted. I don't think she was. I think she's the original. I was under the impression that I was the original.
Yeah, that's usually how like that's usually how they like run it. Yeah.
Now, when I first saw her, my initial reaction was that he must have, left a copy of me behind. I've had some time to think about it since.
So, are you like locked in the suit by any chance?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's climbing out of the dumpster as y'all are talking about this.
So like, like we need to get you like out of the suit and into a safe place, because like they can't track you, but also like your suit may have like some board-in stuff when it hits like Wi-Fi networks that I'm worried about.
There's nothing automatic that connects me. I have the ability to connect to things online. Trust me, if they could track me through that, they'd have tracked me down a long time ago.
How do you feel about us like attempting to like crack you out of the suit and like get you to like a kind of sort of safe place?
Without the suit, I can't defend myself at all.
Well, without the suit, you're still surrounded by 3 very capable superheroes. And if you've come with us, we can get you back to our headquarters, the stupid skyscraper with the V on it.
I saw them installing that V. I had wondered what that was about when they were first doing it.
And like Spear already knows like the Majestics are evil, so like you do have like the government agency kind of cracking down on them.
Oh, that's good. The professor was always so careful to move in the shadows. Some light shining on him is probably what's needed.
Yeah, apparently like that big himbo Muscle the Muscle like cracked it somehow.
Huh. Well, it was finding that group, his group, where the tracker got busted.
Oh, that's like wild.
That's how I was able to run off.
You've been on the run for like a while.
Yes. I avoided Detroit for a while because I figured my home city would be the first place they'd think I'd go. I didn't want to draw their attention to my daughter.
Do you have like a list of locations that like your stuff gets worked on at?
The suit's fairly self-repairing. So like basic wear and tear hasn't been an issue so far, though. And she kind of gestures the damage she's taken today. You know, like this part, and she kind of rubs the smooth kind of black under section of it. You know, that self repairs. Like I won't grow a new, the shoulder pads, whatever they're called. She's like, I know shoulder pad armor has a name, but whatever it was, that won't regrow or anything. But I'm not
If
sure
you had the pieces for it, would it like reconnect?
Oh no, that it might do that. I've never had to test it. I've never been that badly damaged.
I'll dig around in my pocket and take out the stuff and like sort of arrange it around where it's broken.
Oh yeah, she like kind of holds. You hold a big chunk there, and that it's like the black part of her suit kind of grafts onto it. Oh, that may actually work a little bit. Oh yes, Professor Prometheus is nothing if not technologically brilliant.
Prometheus.
Yes, that's his name for himself, Professor Prometheus.
Okay, so all right, it's a little bit more than we had going for us.
I think he thinks of himself as something of a titan.
Oh yeah, it sounds he seems very humble. So how exactly did you know what? No, we can talk about this later. Let's try and like
let's
get out
of the path of tracking as fast as possible.
Okay. Well, you know, obviously you can call your pilot on the radio. What was his name? Was it Daryl or Daniel or something?
I think it was Daryl.
Daryl Dobbs.
Get this go around.
Daryl Dobbs.
Yep.
So you just give him the address where you're at. He zips over in the flyer, picks you all up.
Let's get back to the tower very, very quickly.
Just as like a concern, you're not gonna like wig out when you see Tiny Karen, right?
No, I think I've got a handle on what's happening there.
Great.
I
Also,
mean,
she's like real bum about what happened to her name.
What happened? Oh, yes. Yes, I wasn't terribly pleased about that either. Though I guess I had the advantage of kind of living through it as it happened.
Also, like, would you be willing to, like... Technically, you're not the proprietor of the armor, but the proprietor of your armor is a supervillain. So, like, would you be willing to, like, sell your armor to be studied?
Maybe when all this is over, I suppose.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
sure.
when you're safe, yeah. Sorry, like... since I'm like a company man now, which is like gross, but like it's whatever. I have to be like on the lookout for stuff like this.
Oh, I see. That's right. You are a corporate team.
Yeah, it's like gross, but it like pays.
Wait, what corporation owns you, or owns your team? I should say.
Oh, don't
Future.
like it. Me.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Futuro, is that a problem?
As soon as you say the name Futuro, you see her kind of glancing over the door of the flyer. How much control does Futuro have over your team?
I could like piss on this plane if I wanted to.
Yeah.
you hear Daryl from the cockpit. Please don't. I'm already going to have to spray out the inside.
Well, like, I won't out of, like, social etiquette, but, I mean, like, you couldn't physically stop me. Like, if Futuro is, like, supervillains, I'm willing to, like, break the building in half.
Let me give old Karen. Let's see. First, let me roll a difficulty roll for her, and then let me roll. So she is clearly ill at ease now, but she doesn't start blasting or make for the door.
Interesting.
Hey, Lloyd.
I'm pretty sure the professor owns a lot of stock in Futuro.
Whoa, really?
Not like a controlling interest or anything.
Under, like, what name?
I'm not really sure. It's a company I've heard him mention before, though. I mean, he's invested in several. And Futuro does a lot of high-tech stuff, so it's the sort of thing he'd be interested in. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's a thing.
I am. Obviously, we're going to need to
I
take a
literally
look at the stockholders. The stockholders of Futuro.
There's gonna be like millions. Well, like hundreds of thousands.
Well,
Like publicly
there
traded
will
company.
be, but not significant stockholders. That'll be a much smaller number.
But also, like, hey guys, like, we're all wearing suits made by them, and like, I literally have medicine being pumped into my body by them. So like, we would have to be like super careful about stuff like this.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I'm a company man, but I want to know.
Well, like, I'm also like working for them, but like, if they're being controlled from the shadows by like a secret evil puppet master, that's like, hey, it's time to like cut some strings.
We need to be extremely careful about everything we say or do from this point forward.
Like, do I need to get out like the brain medicine for everyone? I don't know how many doses are like left in my pockets, but I probably have like one or two.
What does a brain medicine do again?
It's a medicine that gives you mental resistance.
Ah.
I forget what I named it.
Oh, it was something wonderful. It was something wonderful. I don't remember it exactly.
I make up too many names, then I don't write them down, and that is a problem.
Welcome to my entire game mastering style.
This is why we take notes on everything.
Well, my problem is I can't read half the notes that I do take, and I don't take enough notes.
I'll tell you right now, my notes cannot be handwritten, or I'm in trouble.
So anyway, so y'all are heading back to HQ, and Mike has joined us.
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
So, Mike.
Yes.
At the end of last session, Whippet had been talking about taking Karen 2, Miss Manhattan, out shopping the next day.
That could be. I know I was supposed to. I know Whippet was supposed to help her with kind of like a reacclimate herself to today's pop culture.
And at the moment, the only clothes she had were the superhero costume that she had swiped from Max Tech, and the Visionary branded sweatpants and shirt that y'all had given her.
That's right.
So that this morning, her and Whipbat had set off for wherever the kids shop these days, malls, shopping centers, whatever it was. Several hours pass, and you're catching her up on music. Well, actually, What would Whippet focus on as far as trying to get Carrot up to date?
Well, now that she's in Detroit, she probably would have been inspired to explore some of the music, Detroit's known for. Of course, there's Motown. There's also, shoot, um, there's also like I think Detroit is known for like got like a good Island Times. It's been a big place for like punk rock and techno is a huge thing in Detroit. Of- Often considered considered by many to be the birthplace of techno music. Um, but as far as like just well, I think first she would have asked like what bands does she remember liking, just to get a sense of like what genres she could be like focusing on.
Well, like if you mentioned Motown, well, she's familiar with that. That was the oldies her parents would listen to.
Sure.
Uh, Techno was starting to be a thing back when she remembers.
Because it's 14, right? So this would be 20, 2010, 2011. Is that right?
Well, keep in mind, the actual original her is like in her 40s.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
Miss Manhattan only has memories up to when she's 14, and she looks to be, the doctors examined her, physically she should be around her early 20s.
Okay.
But when she starts listing off people, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, a lot of you just kind of pop, late 80s, early 90s pop star types.
Okay. So 80s.
Let's see. She's most interested in clothes. From Whippet's point of view, she's definitely got a taste for retro. Which, actually, finding retro 80s and 90s stuff isn't that hard these days.
Yeah, I think we'll maybe take it to some like vintage stores. If there are any like locally run and owned vintage stores, we'll do that. And this is all on Futuro's dime, right?
You do have the company credit card.
Okay.
And like you have to stay within a certain budget, but it's a budget for a superhero team, so it's a budget designed for like any kind of high tech stuff you need to buy. So
yeah, it's like
one shopping
budget,
spree for
so,
a teenager or for a 20-year-old's clothing is not going to break the bank.
Yeah, we'll just call it like miscellaneous. If nothing else, we can call it like I don't know, underground camouflage for infiltration, not missions. I don't really have much of a sense of what that fashion style is either. I could spend some time thinking about that.
She's been all business the last few years.
That's true.
Maybe she has a touch of neo-goth going on.
But
not too dark, but
Yeah, certainly not as dark as the rope.
No. But sort of, I kind of picture her as my mom was kind of a faux hippie. She really wasn't, but she wanted to be. So maybe that's what Whippet's kind of like. She kind of wants to be goth because she's got a chip on her shoulder. She's obviously not happy about things, and so she's kind of working that out. But she's not really a dark person.
Yeah, I can see that. Look at her costume. Yeah, like maybe like a combination of like neon techno and goth. Just looking from her costume. That's kind of the vibe I read off that right away.
So how is she dressed? Since y'all aren't in costume at the moment, how is she dressed?
Mm, right now, let's just say. Well, first of all, she doesn't have her ponytail because remember that things are just part of the costume.
So does
she's
she
got
have long hair or
most of
short
she
hair?
has short hair. Yeah, because since he wears a cowl, short hair would be more practical.
Yeah, this is true.
And yeah, and the ponytail is kind of like just part of the disguise, basically. So
Yeah.
we'll just call it like just simple t-shirt and jeans.
Okay. Uh, so by lunchtime, you've kind of wrapped up some of the shopping. You've got somebody from the company that's actually driving all this clothes back.
Nice.
The plan is for the second half of the day to do like hitting kind of the vintage shops. Still doing kind of quote unquote shopping, but as much window shopping and just sort of acclimating her to society as anything.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes if you see people walking around and they look like they're talking to nobody, you probably just got an earphone in.
Oh yeah, y'all got y'all's comms with you, but let's see, where would Karen want to eat lunch? Let's see. She suggests some mom and pop's place that she remembers when she was a kid. But when y'all swing by there, it's gone now. There's like a Starbucks there instead.
Detroit is known for its Coney Island hot dogs. Let's do that.
Okay. So Whippet picks out some corn dog place that you haven't had a chance to go to yet, but that was like on the list of places that you'd looked up and were wanting to check out.
Yeah.
So you're kind of on the park bench style tables like outside that some restaurants have.
Sure.
Uh,
Do we have a specific time of the year, or are we just keeping that nebulous?
I think we've been kind of nebulous with that.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I think the campaign started in spring, so probably late spring by this point.
It just occurs to me that if you ever do anything with the legend of the Red Dwarf, the Nine Rouge, uh, the big parade and march out of town, I'm pretty sure coincides with like Ash Wednesday or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's next year's problem.
Just 1 second. Okay. So y'all are sitting there eating. Whippet, give me an awareness check right quick. And I'll roll one for Miss Manhattan. So this is Manhattan's roll. She got an 8. And then the difficulty.
Awareness. Okay.
Alright, so she got an 8, you got a 10. The difficulty y'all needed to beat was a 7. So both of you see a shadow kind of fall over you and kind of spring back away from your table as the big concrete picnic style table shatters. What you hadn't finished eating of your food goes flying.
Well,
Wasted conies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's a shame. It's a shame. All right, now where did the display go? There we go. And you see this very large armor-suited man who has come crashing
Oh,
down.
hello. Majestic 12.
You, the players, have run into this guy before. You, the characters, have not.
Yeah, that's right.
He straightens up and looks at Carrion. You're supposed to be drooling in your tank. How in the world... And then he looks over at Whippet. How in the world did you guys even wake her up?
What's good comeback for all that?
And of course, people in the background screaming and running away.
I think Whippet will just retort that you owe me an extra. You owe me a coney dog with extra whatever, with extra sauerkraut. I don't even know if sauerkraut's a thing with.
It's a thing with hot dogs. I don't think it's a thing with corn dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, I assume that we've got I don't even know if I don't even know if I would have brought my uniform, but did I bring my whip? I would like to think I would have brought the whip.
It's the sort of thing I could imagine a comic book character having rolled up and like hidden up the back of her shirt or something.
Yeah. So I might be in my civvies.
Yeah.
I might be giving away my secret identity at this point, but this is you can't help that sometimes.
Yep. And it's not like anybody in town knows you by your real face, so.
Yeah, they might just think I'm a fan or something.
I would imagine Whippet being somebody kind of like Robin. I bet you've at least got some kind of mask in your pocket that you can slap on, even if it's not like your official mask.
That's true. That's a good point. So I guess I'll just.
Your mom
do
was the
my
paranoid
impromptu
type, so.
suit. She certainly was.
So generic domino mask and whip, I could see you having on hand.
Emergency domino mask.
All right, go ahead and give me an initiative roll. All right, so Whippet got a 6. Miss Manhattan got a 9. That's better. And then Majestic 12. Oh yeah, he's got military, so that'll help him some.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Miss Manhattan just lights him up, or tries to. She is not pleased with this, like, her first kind of off day since she's woken up being interrupted like this. So just a good old-fashioned radiation blast. Oh, that's an 11 to hit him. Her max roll. Let's see, he's got flight. That's not really a factor here. So he takes a lick. he's got to roll versus. Let's see. Her beam was a 7, so the number he needs to beat is a 10. He rolls that with his strength. Okay. Alright, so he goes staggering back. He doesn't seem to have damaged the armor much, so there's a section of the armor that's like red hot.
Okay.
He responds by trying to punch her in the face. Because he's gentlemanly like that. Ooh, she is not the best at the fisticuffs. Oh, but she rolled really well, so she got out of the way. And then it is Whippet's turn.
Okay. So I see that there's so he's got a little bit of a nick in the armor, that glowing spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see if I can aim for it and maybe try to hit it at a weak spot. Just a simple whip strike, really.
Okay. Give me a roll. Alright, that's a 9.
Ooh, I missed.
Alright. So you got a 9, he got an 11. So that's enough to get him out of the way, but he doesn't get any kind of free strikes or response. Not that he'd be able to punch you because you've got reach with that whip. Then Miss Manhattan is going to try to fly into him. Just a good old-fashioned Superman double fist fly into somebody. She got a 7. He gets an 11. So that's that makes his roll makes hers a massive failure.
Oh.
So he gets a free shot on her. So yeah, she flies by. He dodges out of the way and just kind of comes down and just kind of a punch into her lower back that drives her into the ground a little bit. Looks very painful. And potentially crippling to like a normal person. Then it's his go. You see him pull a canister off of his belt.
Oh.
And he sort of holds it generally in your direction, and then he just crushes it, and all this kind of smoke, mist, fog, whatever you want to call it, goes billowing out. Give me a strength check, Whippet. Let me double check how this works. Yeah, strength check.
Oh, that's not good.
And then he needs to roll the strength of the ability.
Oh yeah, massive success for M12.
You catch a whiff of that gas, and just instantly you're all lightheaded. You're starting to see spots. Yeah, I lost my page number. With a massive one, I'm pretty sure you're unconscious. It was.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. You don't lose any stamina. It's not doing any damage. It's knockout gas.
Okay. I guess I hit the dirt.
Let's see, what was her strength? All right.
So, this may be a silly thing to point out, but obviously Majestic 12 is in on the whole Karen cloning thing.
He seemed to know she was a clone. He even mentions the tank she was in. Not that your half of the team knows that yet.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, Whippet.
Yes.
You start to come to. You hear somebody. You hear a man's voice. Hey, are you all right? And you hear somebody else. Should we pour water on her face? What about slapping her cheek?
He'll do one of those standing leaps. I know I can't really do it because I don't have that's a specific knack, but I'll jolt up and look for. Do I see Karen?
You do not. You know, as soon as you're awake, you do that kind of buck and spring up. The three people crowded around you all kind of fall back. It's all the teenagers that were working in the restaurant. You know, you see the little crater where he punched Karen down.
That's right.
But you also see like the restaurant, the big sign out front for the restaurant. You see that pole is kind of bent, like somebody got knocked into it.
Does it look precipitous? Does it look unstable?
It's not warped that badly. You know, it's bent bad, but it's not about to fall over.
That's good. Where did the we'll just ask everyone around her. Where did the suit go? Where did he take her? Which which direction did they take off in?
He's like, yeah, he gassed you, and then the other girl that was with you got up and she took a swing at him, and then he punched her into the pole, into the sign pole over there, and then he grabbed her and they flew off that way. And they point kind of westernly, not towards downtown, but like, one of the guys like, yeah, that was maybe a minute ago. Once we were sure he was gone, we came out to make sure you were all right. We've called the police, but who knows when they'll get here.
Well, I'll thank him, and then I'm sorry.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. So I'll thank him and ask if anyone needs any help. Is anyone else hurt? That's what she'll ask.
Well, no, he didn't start like shooting or anything.
That's good.
And as soon as he landed, everybody that was, the couple other people that were out here ran off. Got up and ran off.
That's good. That was a wise decision. Anyway, she'll apologize for me that, and then get on the comms to get in touch with the rest of the team.
When you try to get on the comms, you're only getting static.
I'll call the chair.
Do what now?
I'll call our monitor, our chairperson. Or is that
Again,
is
you're trying to
static
use the
for all
comms. You're trying to use the
communication?
comms to do that. You're not getting anything but static.
Okay. Does it look broken, or is it? Did it maybe?
It looks okay.
Uh,
You're looking at the comment. It looks okay. One of the tenures like, we got a phone in here if you need to use the phone.
No, I'm good. I've got one of my own. I'll try calling on my cell.
Like on a regular cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes through.
Okay.
Carol answers the phone.
Carol, this is what that.
Where are you at? We've been trying to get in touch with you, but we haven't been able to get you on the comm.
I state the street corner that the nearest street corner it's from the Coney Dogs. My comms inactive. I'm just getting static over it.
I'll send a car to pick you and Karen up.
Well, that's the thing. We were attacked by someone in a blue armor suit, and I heard a voice, so I'm going to just presume that he
Sounded like he
took Karen away. Yeah, he flew off with Karen.
Oh no. We had some Majestic spotted fighting other Karen X, I think Boogeyman was calling her. So the rest of the team dispatched to take care of that. I'll send a car out to pick you up and get you back to base.
All right.
Yeah, and a little bit later, driver comes by, picks you up, takes you back to base. Once you're a couple of blocks away from the restaurant, or a few blocks away from the restaurant, you suddenly start getting all these pings where Carol has sent you messages and they hadn't come through.
Okay. So I wonder if Majestic 12 had deployed some kind of scrambler. I'll ask Carol to have whoever's doing the cleanup to check on that, if there's maybe any bugs in the vicinity.
She'll dispatch a couple of the tech guys right now. She'll also notify the police about they've probably already gotten calls about what happened. She'll let them know of your involvement, but that that y'all are currently investigating an ongoing situation. She's sure they'll want to report from you later.
Thank you.
So you get back to base. The rest of the guys are back to base. So when you come in your little emergency domino mask. You see Boogeyman influence a skater boy, and you see another armored person with their armor clearly damaged to some degree.
Also blue?
No, this one is black and silver. From the footage you've seen, this is the one that y'all suspected is another Karen, the one that kind of went after Karen 1.
Oh, that's right. Is this Karen X?
Yes, Boogeyman was calling her Karen X. Yeah, that's right.
And Karen 1 is the
actual person.
40 something.
Right.
Okay.
She's the
Karen
OG.
Prime. Yeah, Karen OG. So some armored terp just kidnapped Karen, kidnapped Miss Manhattan. And I got gassed. I probably still sound a little hoarse.
Carol reaches over, hits a button. Dr. Tyler, to the conference room, please, or to the briefing room, please. I'm just going to give you a little. Have him give you a little looking over.
Sure. Where were you all ambushed?
We more tracked down our new friend after her own fight.
Yeah, Karen X is like I guess I was the one that got ambushed, and I got away and he hit a dumpster. By the way, how did y'all find me in that dumpster?
Oh, somebody
Okay.
saw you jump into it.
Oh, there was somebody in the alleyway, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he was okay then. 9 can be very obsessive, very focused on his on whatever mission he's on. So I'm hearing musical notes.
I am too.
You have a soundtrack.
But they told me there was another Karen clone. You're saying he got away with her, and then she proceeds to describe the armor. You know, was this the armor you were talking about?
Did I didn't remember to take our clothes with it. Were the clothes still behind?
Well, no. After you finished your shopping, you had somebody from the company carry the clothes back to base.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's
y'all weren't
right.
carrying them around.
Phew. Important. It's the important things.
So yeah, if she gets a description out of you about the armor, then she'll identify that as Majestic 12.
How
And
many are there? How many of you all are there?
Who
How many Majestics
is-
are there?
What was that, Curtis?
who is 12?
A-hole.
His name's Chad.
Chad. I got taken out by a Chad. Damn it.
He's kind of the bruiser of the team. His armor is focused more on just raw strength.
So does everybody know about? Does all the Majestic know about the Karen cloning project?
Well, I don't think the entire project was focused around me. But yeah, the cloning thing was part of his Project Hubris.
Project Hubris.
Yeah, I don't know all the
Lunatic-
things. I don't know all the things Professor Prometheus is caught up in. But I know he had Project Majestic, which was all of us. Powered armor, cybernetics, robotics, that sort of thing. Something about uplifting humanity through technology. Where Hubris was more, I guess, genetic. Uplifting humans through other processes, not replacing parts, but just empowering people.
Now, if he calls his Project Hubris, does it mean he's really self-aware, or is he just that pig-headed?
Curious, like maybe a little bit of both. Like he talks about the fact that he's challenging the gods, or God's design, or stuff like that, or going to turn humanity into gods, sort of thing. Like the whole reason that he calls himself Professor Prometheus is, even if he succeeds, he knows he's not going to be. He knows he's going to be punished for what he's done, even if he succeeds, and humanity's better off for it.
Mm. I bet you could become that gut buffet.
That,
Yeah, he's got a lot of artwork of that guy. But
we
Is
don't. We're not familiar with Pantheon, are we?
no,
Uh,
I don't remember exactly which characters went down to South America and dealt
What
with
the-
them. Anyone was
I
down
think
there.
I think. Oh, really? I thought it was Everlast.
Uh,
Maybe I'm confusing my can't
Well, I
think of
believe
countries.
Everlast got caught by him, and you played anyone. But yeah, Everlast has definitely had encounters with him. It was her team that had the most encounters with him, I think.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah, I remember I was a captain for a while, and he was like, putting on the sales pitch. I remember that much
yep, yep.
for their grand mission.
Yeah, Everlast. Yeah, he did try to like talk to Everlast, I think. Anyway, not directly involved with this. That's at least one something Professor Prometheus wasn't involved in. And like Karen Teacher, he's got other irons in the fire. You've heard about the Hellfire incident conspiracy thing from a couple years back. He was the one. He didn't start that organization or anything, but he sort of manipulated them. He's the reason they got away from blackmailing just for money and started trying to manipulate politicians and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what his end game was there. I don't know if he was trying to loosen restrictions on technologies or I don't know, or trying to change society in some way. I don't know what he was doing. I think he's insane, but
Nice.
but not, but that doesn't make him dumb. But he talks about wanting to help humanity so much, but then he seems to have such disregard for people as individuals.
Sure, I get that. I mean, not personally. Yeah. All about the big picture. Omelets and eggs. Omelets and egg breaking, as it were.
Yes. It's like he's worried about the destination, and nothing about the journey to the destination really matters. But if they're capturing her, they'll probably take her to a facility. I still don't understand how she's awake, though. Like she was it was a failed experiment. He was trying to use my genetics, but like increase my abilities. And he's complained that his cloning process doesn't tend, that when he tries to make alterations to the clones, it seems to never work. Because I don't know exactly what he was doing to this one.
Have we met Karen X before? Is this the first time we've encountered
This is the first time these characters have run into her.
Yeah.
Yeah, the criminal guys had met her several times. And really, they're about the only ones, I think.
Sounds about right.
Because she wasn't working with the Majestics during the previous season. She was running loose by then.
Does she know of any facilities in the area that they might have taken her to?
She rattles off an address that y'all recognize. It's where y'all found the oil. It's the place Karen 2 remembers busting out of. She goes, that was one of his cloning facilities, but considering other Karen must have broken out of there, they probably cleared that one already. So we could go investigate it if you wanted to.
We've already swung by there. They cleared it out very thoroughly.
Oh, let's see. Other than that,
I'm okay.
She tells you that he had an underground facility in the industrial district. It's where he was manufacturing. The armor he can kind of manufacture anywhere as long as he has time set of equipment. But Majestic 13 was so big, he had to have a more dedicated facility for that.
13?
Oh, that's his giant robot.
He had a giant rope. Screw it, whatever. No, moving
No,
on.
not-
moving
not-
on.
Not has. I know he deployed the last mission that I went on with the Majestics. He deployed it, but I don't know what happened to it. But like I said, that one is there's not a human pilot for that one.
Was a purely autonomous unit?
Yeah, it can function on its own, but it's just a programmed, I guess typically programmed AI or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really think it was completely self-aware. I also don't know where he stores it regularly. I mean, where do you hide a giant robot?
Mostly like junkyards.
That would actually kind of make sense.
Warehouses, volcanoes.
If you ever want to hide like a giant treasure, you just put it where everybody puts their trash.
Well, it might not hurt to check out the giant robot assembly plant that's apparently under the industrial district.
Yeah, if he hasn't completely shut it down, I should be able to find. I think I know where one of the entrances are. She's like, should we go check that out now?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Why not?
We probably need to rescue the other
Sure,
turret
maybe,
as quick as we can.
Yeah.
That's right.
We should probably also put out the APB to Mr. Manhattan. So let him know what's up.
Also, like, I really want him to take a look at your suit because, like, he's designing a suit similar to that with, like, the self-healing stuff. And I'm wondering if his research got, like scooped up by the professor.
Well, like I said, when this is all over, I'm more than happy to
Oh,
have
yeah.
my suit be examined.
This is like a after the rescue thing.
Oh yeah. So you're going to give Manhattan a call?
Yep.
All right. Carol contacts him. He comes up on the screen. Visionaries, have you found something else?
TLDR K2 has been kidnapped. We believe we have a lead of where she might have been taken to by her captors who are working for who are working for the person who made her, who grew her. Possibly somewhere under the industrial district, which might also contain a giant robot manufacturing plant.
He's building giant robots here in town.
Possibly.
How do you do that without
Well,
being
what else would you
noticed?
do
Just
with
the
Majestic?
raw materials and infrastructure. Well, I guess we have the infrastructure, but
I mean, we can hide prisons underground.
It's honestly amazing what you can do just by buying from different distributors.
what underground prison do we have?
Oh, you don't know?
Something
You know
that
what?
then
No, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk
did
about it
that make
later.
the did that not make the news?
No, the
We
cover story
opted
was.
that- Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. So Jesus. Well, I mean, we are all of the cloth, so so maybe it's not such a horrible thing that I let that slip to Mr. Manhattan.
Uh, but who's your new member?
Karen X.
Oh,
Is that real?
the Majestic.
Is that an official code name?
That's just what Boogeyman's been calling her.
Okay. Well, okay. Oh yeah. I guess that's a unspoken rule of superheroing. If someone comes up with a name for you, and it's possible to make it stick, just like any newspaper.
Karen is like not thrilled at the Karen X thing. I can just continue to use Majestic 7 for now.
Majestic 7 it is.
Not Gary. You gotta stop it, Michael. Enough to move your references.
So Majestic's like, do you need me to join you?
We wouldn't say no to some additional muscle.
He goes, my attempts to track down the Atomatrix has I've hit a brick wall. She's keeping her head down right now for some reason.
Well, the way things always tend to play out, chances are she's connected to this too somehow. So you might find her there,
That would be convenient.
or at least a lead on her.
All right, well, just let me know where to meet you up at.
All right.
And Karen can give you where where that entrance she thinks she has access to is. Then if everybody wants to suit up, well, actually, I guess everybody is suited up except Whippet.
Go team, go.
Karen does ask, should we bring Karen's suit in case we find her?
Couldn't hurt, honestly.
I would say yes.
So one of y'all fetches that. Whoever is carrying her suit, though, every now and then it tends to feels like it twitches a little bit.
Can't we just stuff it in Scared Boys shorts?
Actually, yeah. They are basically jorts of holding.
Yeah, I'll fold it up and slide it into the jorts.
All right, so y'all load up in the flyer. Manhattan meets up with you. The site is this closed down plant, metalworking plant. But it's like not in the main building. It's often kind of a side part of the property. The way Karen talks, apparently they used the entrance some back when the plant was actually still open. Basically, you have some fake plants that slide over to the side. She's like, it's real high tech. They they're fake, but they change to match the season. I really wonder how much time he spent on little stuff like that. When it slides aside, there's stairs down to a large metal door. She's like, I got a code that should get me in, unless they've changed it.
Do I still have that lockpick device I made?
You'd have to make the roll again.
I'm fine with going ahead and trying to cobble that together again.
All right.
Because I get a feeling she tries to punch that code in, that'll set off more alarms than just fiddling with the doorknob.
Not quite possibly. All right. What power level were you making that at?
I'm going for rank 5.
Okay. The difficulty is an 8.
Beatable.
Yep, there's a massive success.
Yay for specialties and good base stats.
So yeah, it's like you basically reach into your pocket and pull out the previous device and like fiddle with it to make sure it's working. Make sure it hasn't been bumped around. Maybe even tweak it or improve it.
Yay.
So you're gonna use your lock picking device on it?
Yep. And I would like to tap a lot of brains, a little budget.
Okay.
Give myself +2 to that roll.
All right, 10 is the number to beat. And you do beat it. The device thinks for a second and, does some stuff. And then a little green light comes on, ping, and the doors slide open. Psh.
And I'm just going to really quickly jot down the code that popped up on the little screen.
Okay.
Just in case. I show it to her. Was that the entry code?
It wasn't my code. But I think we all had separate ones.
Makes sense. All right, and in we slink, I suppose.
Okay. As y'all are traveling, y'all are walking down, you hear Majestic, or you hear Mr. Manhattan behind you. If I bought this property, that would include this base, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't need to build giant robots, but underground base is kind of cool.
I mean, like, if it's by the electric grid connected to this building, and this building's electricity powers the underground section, they'd be considered the same building, yeah. Now, if this illegally goes under, like, a bunch of other properties, you'd have to, like, buy them all up.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Unless it goes, like, far enough down, because then it's just, like, airspace. There's, like, a certain level where it stops being...
Yeah, like international waters.
Publicly accessible
Down.
property. Because, like, I thought about making an underground tunnel system between my skate shacks before. I'm like, the legality of it is I could do it, but, like, the tunneling fees were going to be super expensive.
Why would you want to connect 100 restaurants?
But you could have turned the tunnels
I'm
into
sorry.
a skating
I was
maze.
also, like, a super inventor, too.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
And, like, having access to, like, going to the place where, like, the supervillain that wanted to, teleport my store to another dimension, and I lost Third Shift Tom. Like, I wanted to make sure I could, like, protect them. I still miss Third Shift Tom. He was, like, the coolest.
think we have our next campaign arc. The quest to recover third shift Tom.
No. The next time y'all go off into space, you'll have the Star-Lord style character will be third shift Tom. Or maybe not into space, in alternate dimensions with it.
Him in the entirety of one skate shack.
It's just this random restaurant that pops up in other dimensions. And then travels on. So this base has it basically just has some the equivalent of emergency lighting on. And even those few lights really only kind of click on as y'all approach them. Karen tells you this doesn't really look like he's been using it lately, or at least not currently. But it doesn't look like he's completely decommissioned it either.
Just in case he needs to build another, what was it? Majestic 13?
Yes. I'm not sure why he needed a giant robot.
I mean, you get these mad science types. At some point, they're going to build a giant who's the what's it.
I guess. And, I mean, to be fair, in the last few years, we have had giant monsters start showing up. I mean, you had that little burst of them in the 50s because of all the atomic testing, but then all of a sudden that one pops up in Miami, and then there was one in Saudi Arabia, and then there was, I think it was Spain that the Primes fought one. Is it just me, or has the world gotten weirder?
Oh, yeah. Weirder every single day.
It's like tornadoes. It's like we've always had them. It's just like the way we can find out about them has become more and more progressive. So we can spot every single one instead of just hearing about one 5 weeks later.
Yeah, maybe that's it. She leads y'all out onto a walkway. And it's dark over, to your left, but there's this kind of cavernous feeling to it. And maybe it's the airflow in the area, the drafts in the area. But you feel like that deep darkness is just a huge empty space.
So it was like a
Gonna click on
really
a
big robot.
Perhaps a silo for a giant robot.
She's like, oh, this is some of the construction. This is the main fabrication floor. Once we get to the control room, we can turn all the lights on. And that's where she's leading you, is kind of the main hub of the thing.
Well, let's see. Let's go.
Yeah, she leads you in there, and she hits a few things on the computer, stuff boots up. She types in a command. Like when you hear when somebody turns on in TV and movies anyway, when they turn on the lights in a big warehouse, and you hear that kind of thump, thump, thump as all the lights turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this out in that big open area. You see this huge platform, and there's indentions in it in a vaguely humanoid form. It's that's where the big all the parts that have been laid while they were being assembled or whatever. And you see part of a giant hand, and a partially constructed foot or a leg over in one corner of the assembly area. Basically just a few miscellaneous parts of a giant robot.
Mhm.
Some of them are like visibly damaged. Maybe they came out of the creation process flawed, or maybe he had to repair it at one point, or who knows.
How big would this robot probably be?
She's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, it was.
Well, I mean, just based on the foot and the hand that we see.
Oh, looking at that. It would be maybe 100, 200 feet tall, somewhere between there.
Jesus.
I mean, when I say giant robot, it's a giant. It's not the size of a skyscraper, but it's a big robot. Clearly, what a team of street level heroes want to fight.
I'm sorry, the Curtis inside me wants to climb into the hand and go, "Eat me, you goddamn monkey! Eat me!"
Where's that middle finger button?
And while she's doing that, security cameras and stuff are coming up, so she's like looking around the base. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's currently being used. I think we're in here alone.
Oh.
I have like doubts about that in like a intellectual sense.
Mhm.
Because like last base we broke into, he had like shitty cameras still set up to watch.
Yeah, are we seeing any shitty little cameras set up anywhere?
You haven't seen any now.
I mean, the security cameras are obviously still set up since we're looking at them through the system, but
Yeah, the ones built into the base that she's accessing through the base computer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
is the base computer still hooked up to the internet at all?
It does not auto connect to the internet. Karen tells you she probably could hook it up to the internet.
Connected to the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Does this like professor guy have like a secret internal network system that he uses? That we should like be worried about, that he has current administrative access to the computers that just cut on?
If we right now they're air gapped. Well, I guess it's not technically air gapped because I can just put in a command and they would connect to the internet. He has, it's kind of like his own Tor network sort of thing. She's like, I'm not exactly sure how all that stuff works. I know he's got some kind of secure thing, but it goes through the internet some kind of way. And there was something he's like, and he talked about peer-to-peer encryption or something.
All right. So it's like this can be accessed without like some permissions and stuff, and it's saying okay to it. So we probably like okay.
She's like, exactly, yeah. He was always worried about technopaths possibly being able to, access his equipment if he left it connected.
Man, this guy's like more paranoid than me about this. That sucks.
Well, he's kept his plan secret for a very long time. The cracks are starting to form
Okay. What was the Majestic we encountered on the rooftop?
That was Majestic 5.
Look around, shop. Hey, M5, are you in here with us? You gotta say if you are. Those are the rules.
You hear Karen. Carlene was never that concerned about the rules.
So
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the Ms. Manhattan suit
Mm-hmm.
was moving.
It was twitching a little bit.
And in fact may still be moving inside Skater Boy's pants.
Well,
it is somehow bonded with Karen, right?
Mr. Manhattan kind of looks at you. Well, it's kind of a living thing. It's organic. It's
I was just wondering if maybe we could use it to track Karen, but if they're not truly bonded, then probably not.
He's like, yeah, Manhattan's like, yeah. There's not like a psychic component to this.
Just a thought.
All right. So what investigations do y'all want to do while y'all are here?
He's probably just gonna take a few photos of everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped at what we think we might learn from here at this point, at this base.
Whoopette, Skater Boy.
I've got nothing.
Oh, is there like a way to see the last time this base was like active?
Karen, there should be. I can check the logs on the computer.
Yeah, if we can like know when he shut it all down last.
All right. So the last time the place seemed to be in use would have been basically shortly after the Hellfire conspiracy got brought to light. Basically, the giant robot got kind of messed up fighting the Primes and some other folk.
Oh yeah.
And he had brought it back here to repair it.
Is there like some sort of on-site teleporter? Because how did he get it in and out of the city in the first place? Does he just like disassemble it and ship it out in trucks and reassemble it at a separate location?
Karen's like, I'm not entirely certain. I was never really involved in like the construction or anything.
But I will say, if you were going to build a giant robot, the city to do it is Detroit.
I've got some Godzilla comics somewhere that's where they built Mechagodzilla. They're like, Detroit's got the infrastructure and it needs a financial boost. Here, we'll build a giant robot. Oh, and then Godzilla damaged it and the robot went crazy and started destroying the city. Oh, well.
I'm just kind of, I can't picture there being a clue in this base into where their next base is. He's too clever for that. The log's not going to say, hey, we're done packing everything and we're getting ready to go to the Keys. Not going to be there.
So she pulls up some footage from the security cameras of the lights in the main bay come up. You see the big platform. And sure enough, something out of the ceiling kind of lowers down. It's almost like a large oval that fits around that platform. It looks like the robot would have laid on it. That drops down. And it's almost like you see the robot materializing in layers as that piece comes down, and then when it raises back up, you've got the damage, but otherwise complete robot laying there.
Is that
so? It does look like they teleported it in.
Still there?
The oval thing is still attached to the ceiling.
Like, hey,
The last coordinates might be there for teleporting. Maybe.
Yeah, we might be able to figure out where that pulls from.
Mm-hmm.
And by we, I mean like you guys.
Yeah, can we poke at it? Poke at it and try and get some coordinates off of it.
Karen shows you what she knows how. What little bit she knows, because she's just accessing security logs basically.
Yeah.
It's about the extent of what she knows how to do. But yeah, y'all can go down and examine the device itself.
Oh hell yeah!
Manhattan can fly.
And
you
for
up
sure,
to
the
get on high
last
part.
time, for sure, the last time it was activated whenever it moved the robot.
Yes, that was the last time. Well, y'all saw when it brought the robot here. The last time was when it took the robot somewhere else. After it was repaired.
If
All
there's,
right, yeah,
if you can't-
let's head down to the platform.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, give me a tech roll as y'all start poking around on this thing.
Absolutely doable.
Before you do that, I would like to give you 1 tick of my probability control to give you good luck and a +2 on that roll.
Awesome. And so my tech roll, so that bumped it up to a 10.
Oh, nice.
Nice. I'm gonna be paranoid here and tap a lot of brains, a little budget
Okay,
to bump that up to a 12
that'll work.
because I'm having visions. Huh? What'd you say, sir?
Oh, I said that'll work. What you're tapping.
Yeah.
Beat it by
I'm
8.
just having visions of Boogeyman accidentally getting his atoms strewn across the United States.
Oh no, Boogeyman's arrived. Perfectly whole. He just looks down and sees his butt's pointing out from the front. Why didn't anybody tell me my butt was this big?
Now, are we talking about actually teleporting ourselves right now?
Just
all in.
looking at it, seeing what information we can learn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all in for that if that's what we want.
All right. Well, I rolled a very, very per roll, so you only had to beat a 7.
And I got a
So
15.
yeah. So you beat it by 8. So you start looking into it. There's all kinds of safety protocols. This is actually a very user-friendly piece of technology. It's almost like whoever's going to be teleporting themselves and their equipment wanted to make sure everything absolutely always got where it was going in one piece.
What could go wrong with a teleportation device?
The computer checks and double checks, each individual thing in the transport multiple times. Whoever designed this clearly watched Jeff Goldblum's The Fly at some point. Maybe even the Vincent Price version from back in the day. It was clearly something they were concerned about.
They're both good.
But it's clearly in working order. In fact, everything in this base seems to be, like I said, it looks like, there's some dust here and there where it hasn't been used lately. But everything has been kept up, and it's clearly everything's ready to be turned back on, just whatever. You do find the last coordinates that it was sent to. You don't know. It's not like a regular GPS. Clearly they had their own system, so you don't know exactly where it's going to go. You just know this is where this is going to be the place that they sent the robot after they repaired it.
So we can't figure out from the coordinates where it is, but we could send ourselves there.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
That is correct.
Well, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm conflicted about Futuro. I'm a company man. but I'm not conflicted about finding Ms. Manhattan.
Sure.
If this is like some kind of trap, it's super convoluted, so like I'm happy to run into it.
We might be running into a hornet's nest, but I'm pretty sure it's not a trap.
And we scoured that other place pretty thoroughly, and we didn't find like any sort of hidden passage, right? The other place, the old Majestic building.
It was an old Majestic building. We don't know. You know about the
No,
place where y'all
the,
found where you found the cloning tech, or well, where the cloning
Yeah.
tech should have been, but wasn't.
Yeah, wasn't that an old Majestic place?
No.
No,
The
some of
museum.
the tech had the Max Tech logos.
Yeah,
Ah,
that was what initially sent Miss Manhattan to Max Tech.
right.
That was like her clue, you know.
And we scoured that place, didn't find like, no, for sure there were no like hidden passages. But we-
Well, no. Once y'all found out there were cameras, y'all went ahead and kind of got outside quick, figuring the police were going to show up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'd say we do the probably dumb thing and fire up the teleporter.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could input the coordinates in the control center, computer, and you can put a timer on it where you have plenty of time to get down there onto the platform.
Yeah.
You get down there, the little oval lights up. As it starts to descend, you hear Mr. Manhattan. I just want to tell you all how much I like this plan and how proud I am to be a part of it. The oval comes down over.
Plan.
As the oval comes down, you get this feeling of almost like you got like static electricity all over you.
You giving us a group hug?
And that lasted for just a moment, and then you're standing in a different room on a very similar platform.
Are the lights on?
Lights are clicking on as you. Well, actually, I take that back because the machine had to fire up. So yeah, the lights are on as you arrive.
And we are not currently surrounded by a bunch of people with guns pointed at us, right?
No. This area looks almost like an airplane hangar. Very tall ceilings, very large doors that can open on one end.
Because it has to walk out of here.
And those doors are certainly big enough for it to walk through.
Is it? But is the hangar empty?
Yes, you do not see the giant robot here in the hangar.
That's
How
like
many
good for my
places
emotional
did they
state.
build? Okay, we are out in the open. I suggest we move ourselves so that we're not so conspicuous.
Yep.
Yeah, like looking around, is there like an identical control room to the other teleporter room?
There is a over in one corner of the room. There is got computer equipment set up. It's not identical to the previous control room. But like you can literally see wires running from those computers over to or up the wall and to the oval in the same kind of oval device up in the top of this hangar.
Let's go ahead and get like information first, and then go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, like a check out the activity logs. And any video recordings, all that good stuff.
Y'all start heading over that way. Before you can get to the computer, though, over on one side, there's like normal human-sized doors up against one wall. They come busting open, and you see this woman come through first. There's some other people behind her that you can't see real well right now. Yeah, so did she pop up?
Yes.
Majestic 12 popped up for me.
Optometrics for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be Atomitrix now. You might have had an old pop-up still up there. So you see her come. Like I said, there's other people behind her that you're not catching. Did we just lose somebody?
Yes, we lost one with that.
Ruh-roh. And we were just about to wrap too.
Hopefully with that shall return.
But so yeah, she comes running in the room.
Yeah, your weapon was returned.
Ah, excellent.
Sorry.
Not an issue. Was just one second, I got my screens all confused. All right.
About how many people did she have with her?
It looks like there's about 4 running up behind her. But as she runs in, you see, Mr. Manhattan looks up. Ivana. And she scowls up. Kenneth. She sounds Russian. I'm going to try to do a Russian accent.
Hey, can you two maintain professionalism for 5 seconds? You're both in costume.
Manhattan looks at you, but Ivana's eyes just light up and beams fire out. And that's where we're at for today. Hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. We'll get to pick up a little brawl next week, and hopefully you'll find out some more depths of this mystery. Hope anybody at home that comes by and watches us or listens. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us again in 2 weeks. At least I don't think there's anything weird in 2 weeks that would prevent us.
Same Futuro time.
Yep. Again, I was your GM for the day, Jason, and with me has been Mike as Whippet.
See it.
Taylor as Skater Boy.
See ya.
Curtis as the Influencer.
Laters.
And Marigold as the Boogeyman.
Hope you all had fun.
And we will see y'all next time.